Okay, so more to rewiring and programming your brain. So before I start and before you guys ask, I'm looking very good today because I'm going for a functional event later. Anyways, so there's a very, very popular book that you guys must have heard of before. It's called Atomic Habits. And this book explains specific habits and specific routines and strategies that you combat yourself or you equip yourself with when going through your daily life. And so essentially this book explains that we humans are fundamentally programmed to be lazy, and that is primarily because our brain very often associates our decision making processes with survival. So in other words, any decision you make or any thought process you go through that involves some degree of your autonomy, your brain will kick in and associate it, especially subconsciously with survival. So a lot of the decisions you make, your body often says no. It purposely puts you into a comfortable position where you spend as minimum energy as possible. So your brain is actually fundamentally, basically designed and programmed in such a way. So coming back to the topic of content creation and personal branding, not only are you supposed to have the energy and go out of your way to establish content and create content, even though the applications are designed for users to become really lazy and comfortable, but in any area of your life, practical life, you should at least make some effort to be in situations where you seek most discomfort. There's another book, The Daily Stoic, written by Mr. Holiday, Ryan Holiday. That's the author, and he explains how the idea of Stoicism is obviously to emphasize duty, but to often seek discomfort necessary, because with discomfort you see progress. With discomfort you will see eventually growth. So what are some of the ways, Julian, for you to rewire, reprogram, or to at least have some autonomy, some control over yourself? And autonomy kind of gives it away. You're not essentially rewiring your brain to think about something different. The essence of it is to have a degree of control over your brain. So what does that mean? So that basically means that you are in control of yourself and your decision making, and your body and your emotions doesn't control you. Simply, or simplified, in a simplified manner, this idea is called Stoicism. And basically the only thing you can ever control in this universe is really your mind and your brain. So you have to harness the power and energy to basically take yourself, your person, in. Sorry for the short breakup, but basically most decisions that are not impaired by external factors. So what are some of the specific ways that I myself can at least have some more autonomy over my decisions or over my brain, basically? Atomic Habits underlines or outlines this quite nicely. It explains the specific routines you can create, the specific habits you set up for yourself. But what are some of the specific ways that I personally apply? So how do you tell your body that you're in charge? So here are some of the specific ways that I do. For example, when I wake up early in the morning and I go for a shower, whether it's after a workout or some training, I like to, and this sounds very, very cliche, I like to turn the shower absolutely cold. And not only does this have some biological effect to it, it lowers your blood, and for inflammation and recovery, it assists your body. But psychologically, when you put yourself in such a position of discomfort where the water is really, really cold, you tell your body voluntarily that you're in charge and you're the person that has to bear the coldness. So as crazy as it sounds, the psychological effect of it is very, very powerful. And having cold showers or ice baths, in essence, is one of the ways where you can tell yourself, okay, listen, I'm in charge. So what are some of the other ways? So some of the things that I like to do or say is self-reflection. I like to call it self-reflection, but self-reflection consulting. So that's basically where you tell yourself, as crazy and psychopathic as it sounds, you tell yourself, listen, you're in charge. So how does that work? So when I'm alone, or when I'm, looking at myself in the mirror, wherever I am, obviously I hope there's not a lot of people around me, but I like to have a lot of self-talk. So I tell myself, Julian, you're in charge. Julian, you're gonna do this. Julian, don't listen to others. So you voluntarily tell yourself, and it works better if you obviously mention your name, you voluntarily tell yourself that you're in charge. And so how that kind of works is like a reminder. It's like a bell towards your brain, where subconsciously it triggers this effect where your brain realizes, okay, I understand who's in charge. So that is another way of how I would say have some autonomy over my decisions. There's another book. Of course, I'll mention this on the links where you guys can check it out, from Ryan Holiday, that specifically explains the importance of having self-control. The book is called The Power of Self-Control. And within those books, it specifically elaborates how powerful you can be when you basically take autonomy, take self-control, and basically have your decisions really just justified by yourself. And it explains how historically, a lot of powerful men and women have utilized this kind of a philosophy to excel in basically any area of your life.